How's it going? It's Rocky, your full-time stay-at-home dad trading futures for a living. Welcome to week number 39 on our trading progress. It's been a while since I posted a video. The last one was week number 35, and I'm gonna be honest with you, my past few videos, 73 views there and 77 views on week 33. It means that I'm not doing a good job releasing content, so I need to come back and hopefully give content that is both helpful to those that are watching, entertaining to some, and really something that is worth your time watching. And for those of you who have been following me for a while, thank you. I always appreciate the support you give my channel. And those that are new and just seeing me for the first time, stick around. Hopefully you learned something. If not, give me a comment and let me know where I can improve on. So on week 39, we actually had a losing week. So for week 39, we lost a total of $1,797.81. And this is real money. This is my self-funded live account that I'm trading on two brokerage accounts, which is my Thinkorswim and the NinjaTrader. However, so far this year, I'm pretty happy that year to date, we have earned at least $16,000. And if you look at the chart here, the peak for the year was around $18,000, which is what it was the last week before this first loss. But the part that I'm really proud of is if you look at this growth right here. So for the past 13 weeks or so, this growth accounted for a total of 19,500. So the last 13 weeks was a winning streak. Quite happy with that. Unfortunately, it ended this week, and the reason that it ended this week is I had 3 consecutive trades where for each trade I have a max risk, so 100-point max risk, and for 3 consecutive trades I lost max risk on each of those trades, and I finally found my limit. In the past, I would go on tilt and end up losing accounts or have some disaster days, like losing $13,000 if you check back a video I had earlier in this year. But even though it was a losing week, I'm quite happy that I knew when to stop myself. And what I'm going to run through this week is just those 3 trades to show you what I did right and what I did wrong. But in reality, to me, it was within my system and everything was right. But before we jump into the charts, what I do want to point out is this graph that I do in the past, like in the previous weeks, I would go through my account statement to review just to show it for transparency's sake. But if you wanted to know more about, that actual transparency, instead of me going through it, because I don't know if others find value in that anymore based on the views I was getting on my previous content, you can always look at my previous posts. So every day I post a progress on essentially my NinjaTrader along with some funded accounts that I'm trade copying with it, and then I post a chart of the trade. So I do that every day should you ever want to fact check some of the numbers that I am posting there. But whatever numbers I post, I actually keep track of it on this Excel sheet. On this Excel sheet here, you can see the numbers that I report every week is essentially the numbers that you see in this column, in column I. So this is the 13-week winning streak here that I'm quite proud of, and that amounted to a total of $19,472.68. As you can see there, our year-to-date running total, that's what got us to $18,000 until our first losing week this week, $1,797.81. But that's okay in comparison to other losses I've had for the year. So for the year, I have a total of 7 weeks where I have a red week. And you can see here, I did average this out. My average is pretty bad. As you can see, my average red week is about 6,000, while my average green week is about 1,800. So that's why the numbers are not as amazing, I guess, even though my winning percentage is 82%. And the reason for that is just earlier in this year, I've had some really massive blowouts, like this $13,000 here. Let me just get the pen so you can see this a lot clearer. There's $13,000 loss here, 6,000 here, another 6 here, another 10 here. But I think I finally got everything in check, and hopefully next week we can get back to green, as long as I continue with my system. So alright, we're gonna jump to the thinkorswim charts just to show you the 3 trades where I hit my max risk. So my max risk is 100 points per trade. So with the YM, if I traded 1 contract, 100 points is $500. So that's my max risk. And from these trades, you can see 3 consecutive trades. On the left is the time base, and the right is the tick base. The reason I'm showing the tick base here on the left is, if you notice the volume here, you notice that the volume is really low. So I was actually trading during the Globex. Globex means this is during the Asia hours and the EU hours, and it's not until when the volume goes up right here. This is where the US hours are. So one mistake that I did is, normally I don't trade the Globex, but since I had some things going on during the US hours, I decided to trade the Globex. And I think due to that, I just was not as focused. I was not getting as much sleep. I want to run through these 3 consecutive losing trades just from a quick high level view on why, even though I lost 3 in a row, I'm feeling okay with it. It's not something that I am too concerned about. So on the time base, it's not really as clear for me to go through it. So I'm going to run through the trades looking at the tick base here. So let me see if I can maximize this screen here, just so we have more real estate to look at. I'll maximize. There you go. Okay. All right. So the 3 trades again occurred during the Globex hours. This first trade I want to talk about on the left here. You see this white line? That is my entry. So 36,000. Pardon me, 46,487. And the tough part about this trade is, you can see up here, I had an opportunity to exit. However, my target is normally, roughly 100 points above the entry. So 46,587 is roughly around here. So what happens is, normally when I am up about plus 50, I move my stop closer. But I was having some issues with NinjaTrader that night, which really just messed up with my psyche. I know it sounds like I'm making an excuse, but it's something that I made a post about, which I'm going to jump back into that post actually that I made. It was a post that I made here that night. I made a mistake with the ratio I was using my trade copier. With my funded features, I accidentally put a 3 factor there, which meant that normally I trade 1 YM, but I ended up trading 3 YM, and that was a disaster. And I think it just messed up a lot of the things that I was doing. But that's just to give you a bit of a preview there. But anyway, going back to this chart, I think the peak here, if you look up here, you'll see the number of what the high is. And then on the high of this candle, while I have my mouse on here, you can see that the value up there is 46,540. So in reality, that's normally when my ATM would move up, but there was an issue with it. Again, I was having some issues with my trade copier and NinjaTrader. It's not really an issue with the system itself. It's just the way I was executing, just because it was, exhaustion late at night. I just wasn't as sharp as I should be. But anyway, it was really unfortunate to see a profitable trade lose 100 points. And then that's trade number 1. And then the next trade I entered again long, and the average for this one was 46,433, denoted by this white line. And then with this trade again, and look at the high up here, okay? The high got up to about 46,493. So it's about 60 points or so that I was in profit. And my ATM normally at plus 50, it would move up, but I don't know what happened there. This is around 3 a.m. Really unfortunate again to have a profitable trade and have that hit my max risk of 100 points. So that's 2 consecutive losses. For the past 13 weeks, I've had 2 consecutive losses, and then the third one I'm able to pretty much recover a little bit. So that's why I didn't stop. And then on that third trade, right before the US Open, my average was 46,333. And then again, if you look up there for the high, I got up to 46,391, which is another 60 points. And if my ATM was working, where my stop loss would go into profit at plus 50, I could have avoided this. But again, it's technical issues. You can say exhaustion. I'm not blaming the ATM. I know there's a setting that I did not do properly. And again, I was trading during a time where I'm not as sharp as I should be. And it was unfortunate for this third trade to go from profitability to a loss of 100 points. And what was really rough from all these trades, which, hindsight trading is bad, but it really messes with how you're thinking about it during that time, is, for example, this first trade here, it hit my stop loss and it went back up to where break even was, which I would have been okay. And then on the second trade, that didn't go back up to break even, but the third one, you can see where my entry was, when I went above what that would have been. And anyway, it just, after just 3 trades, I told myself, okay, done for the day, done for the week. I accepted the losses. They were all within my system, not a tilt. In the past, I would have moved my stop loss, but with this one, I accepted it as it is. And I told myself no more trading for the rest of the week, and I'll clear up my mind this weekend, get ready for next week, and hopefully get back on the right track, because even though this seems bad, to me, this is all within acceptable risk. Anyway, that's my content this week. Thank you for tuning in. Please give me some feedback, because I do want to grow this channel. And as a full-time trader, I know I should be making most of my money from trading, but it doesn't hurt to have other side income, such as what I earn from YouTube. And I really do appreciate your time. All right, y'all have a good one. I'll see you on the next one.